enjoy the moment at hand. You're never going to have another moment like this. You're never going to have this day again. You're never going to have this day of your life again. This is a valuable blessing. This is a sacred blessing that you get to live this day today. I know that sounds cliche and that rhymes. Well, that's kind of cool. But what I mean is free, live in the moment means to be free of your mind, to be free of your emotions, to not be a slave to them, to actually be present in the situation that you're in right now. And some would say that it's very naive just to be an optimist all the time. And it can be Pollyanna, and I get it. You have to look and think about some of the things that could go wrong. They would say that it's not safe to be thinking about all the things that can go right and the potential. But I will tell you, are you going to be better prepared if you're consumed by everything that could go wrong? Most of those things that go wrong, you're not going to be able to prepare yourself for. The worst things in my life, I had no idea were coming. I had no idea were coming. I had no idea that I would end up divorced. I had no idea. I had no idea that I would face some challenges that I faced when I was a kid. I had no idea I'd face some challenges that I'd faced as a young adult. I had no idea where they were coming. In fact, I was totally blindsided. I couldn't prepare for those things. And I could go back and say, well, I was just naive and I could have prepared myself. Well, no, I couldn't have because of whatever my age, my maturity level. And I'm much more prepared to face the situations when I live in the moment today. And I face the situation at hand and I free myself from all this overthinking and this worry. So are we better prepared? I often ask clients, what are you afraid might happen if you don't worry about this thing? Because they're all consumed in this thing that could happen, whether it's a business trip or it's a financial concern, it's something in their marriage or something in a relationship or what, even their husband or their wife's drinking problem or drug addiction or their kids, or whatever, and they're consumed by it. I said, what are you afraid will happen if you don't worry about this? Well, it's going to fall apart. I won't be prepared. I won't be able to help them. I won't be able to be myself. I won't be able to do good in the situation. I won't be prepared to, survive if I don't, prepare myself for the worst situation, which I think is going to happen. And yeah, they're focusing on it consistently all the time, but they're not living in the moment. They're not living in the moment. So they're actually creating a situation where it's more likely to have, in my opinion, the negative thing occur because they're putting so much energy into it. Because what you focus on the most grows. And cognitive bias and cognitive negativity bias and confirmation bias, they all play into this. And we start feeding this and then we stress ourselves out. Nobody solves problems well when they're all stressed out. Nobody can be really creative when they're all stressed out, not at least at their top potential, not at their best. So some actions you can take, a couple things that you can do here to start working on this, living in the moment. So one is to be aware of your surroundings. So I like to sit around people when I do work. I'll go to the library. We have a great downtown library in Wichita. I'll go to Starbucks. I frequent every Starbucks in town and other coffee shops too. Let's go Aroma. I love coffee shops. I love libraries. I love places where I can look at people and walk around. And, I love bookstores, Barnes & Noble. We got one of those here in town too. And I still go to these places. Yes, bookstores do still exist. And I like to be able to work hard for, 55 minutes or so, Pomodoro technique. And then I can get my mind off of it by looking at other books or looking at people, or take a 5-minute break and look at people or whatever is in the store, or think about something outside of what I'm actually focusing on. But it keeps me focused in the moment because I know I can have this release where I can let go and focus on other things. So you just become aware of whatever your surroundings might be. So I have a buddy that loves birds and I love learning about birds from him, not from necessarily books or anything, but there's so much to observe and to be aware of. And so you can notice how you feel, the temperature outside, notice what you see and the colors and the texture, notice what you feel, notice what you smell and what you taste, and really try to taste the coffee when you're drinking it. That's being present in the moment. It's a practice. And it will be hard. You have to slow down. So sometimes slowing down, especially if you're used to go, 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 and that's a trauma response in your body that you're used to, it takes a while. It can take a couple years to really slow down. So you rent a kayak or buy a kayak or a paddleboard and you really get in the moment. You're not listening to things. You're just trying your best to be present in the moment, the wind, the birds, everything around you. So another thing you can do is some kind of meditative action. And meditation gets a bad rap because lots of things, in my opinion, are meditative type actions. So if I'm in the car without the music on and I'm just trying to be aware of what's going through my head and letting go of it, that's a meditative time that I have, driving to work without any kind of sound going on. So hitting golf balls is a meditative type thing. Journaling is a meditative type action. Giving my dog a bath, which I did on Friday night, go Max, was a meditative type action because I just enjoyed the moment. I got in the moment just giving him this time. And so I was able to get out of my head and be present. And that's what we want to do. Listening to music can be meditative. It can be a distraction too, but you decide what's going to get you to a place where you can get space from your thoughts and feelings and observe them rather than be absorbed into them. Breathing as well. So 5-1-5 is what I've been practicing. And so 5 Breath in, hold it for a second, breathe in for 5 seconds, hold it for a second, breathe out for 5 seconds. And you can do 4-1-4, but some kind of intentional breathing practice as well.